Sweetbriar College is an all-women college founded in 1901 in rural Virginia. Let's hear the story of this college from one of its alumna.
Hi, my name is Georgene Vairo, and I'm a member of the Sweetbriar College class of 1972. And now I'm serving on the new Board of Directors of Sweetbriar College. We all know that March 3 was a really important day in the history of Sweetbriar College. That was the day the announcement was made that the college was going to be closed down. Well, that announcement inspired thousands of Sweetbriar alumni all over the country and their supporters to do their part to save the school. They worked hard planning for the future because we knew we were going to get the keys back. We gave generously to fund our legal effort, which resulted in a number of other important days in our history. One was the day that Amherst County Attorney Ellen Boyer filed the lawsuit seeking an injunction to stop the board from closing down the college. Another one was that day when Judge Updike in Bedford County said about the board of directors, just something ain't right. And he extended the injunction to make sure that we had time to go forward and try to get those keys back. Finally, we won our battle in the Virginia Supreme Court, where the Virginia Supreme Court ruled in favor of our position that Sweetbriar College was a sacred trust to be held in perpetuity. Well, all of this led to the best day, Indy Day, July 2nd, 2015. At 5:01 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, a new board of directors took the keys.
Today we have Georgene with us, and I asked her a few questions about saving Sweetbriar.
My question is, why did you come to Sweetbriar?
Well, that was almost easy. My mother wanted me to go to a women's college in the South, so we drove down sometime my junior or senior year, I can't remember when, and we went to Hollins, we went to Randolph-Macon, and we went to Mary Baldwin. And then when we got to Sweetbriar, as soon as we turned in and I started driving up that road, I said, this is where I want to go.
Great.
So it was a no-brainer for me.
Great. When you joined
And
Sweetbriar,
I talk to people. I'm an athlete, so I talk to the coach. Boy, at the time, the facilities were ancient, but it's still, I was so excited to be able to go there and play. I couldn't wait to get there and be a student.
great. When you joined Sweetbriar, did you know that you will be that close to all the alums and one day you will be saving the school that you chose?
I had no idea. And in fact, I was I was president of the Student Government Association, so when I was there, I was very, very active, but after I graduated and the people in the few classes behind me graduated, I pretty much lost touch. And in 1997, I was elected the Distinguished Annual Alumna, and I came down and gave a speech at Convocation, and that was really, really fun. I always gave money to the annual fund, but otherwise I was pretty disconnected. I just kept up a little bit with some of my friends that I was very close to. I read the alumni magazine, but I had no idea that I would end up saving the school or being part of saving the school. And but it was a labor of love, and I think it was a product of the education I got there and the bonds that I had with people. And then I hadn't seen them in 40 years, but we all got back together again because there was something special about the education we had. And so, there's no question that we were going to get together and save it.
So how did you hear about the closure?
I heard about it. I'm in California, so I was 3 hours behind. And one of my best friends, Sarah Clement, who became the chair of the Saving Sweetbriar Board, texted me or called me and said they're closing down the college. And I'm like, what? How could they do that? That's, where did that come from? And she said, nope, it's real. It's not a joke.
So alums and others were not notified before the closure?
No, not at all. Not at all. No, in fact, that was one of the things that really got us all really angry, because if school was in trouble, they should have let us know. And, for sure, I think just as we saw during the Saving Sweetbriar days, alumni were ready to give money. alumni were ready to give their energy, but they never asked. So, you know, we were sitting on the sidelines thinking that everything was sort of okay. And, you know, the announcement of the closure, you know, I got it the same time you did, or maybe shortly thereafter, because there was just no prior notification. Just boom, there it was.
Many of our alums were far from each other. All these groups were made on Facebook and Twitter, and they all came together through social media. How do you assess the role of social media in saving Sweetbriar?
It was critical. Oops, did I lose you? It was critical. Without Facebook, I don't know how we could have done it. I mean, we had great lawyering, and we had a lot of political help. But without Facebook, particularly, I think that was the most important one. How would we have communicated? How would we have kept track of what Saving Sweetbriar was doing? How would we have been able to hound the Attorney General and you know, follow him all around the state to make sure that he would help us instead of hurting us? So, you know, it was critical. You know, we have to thank Mark Zuckerberg. Without Facebook, I don't think we could have done it. At any other point in time, I think it would have been impossible. We needed information in real time, and we were able to get it. Email wouldn't have been enough, nothing would have been enough. You know, we needed to be able to reach thousands of people and keep expanding the numbers of people who were involved. We needed to get faculty and the alumni talking to each other and communicating with each other. We needed alumni to be able to communicate with students. We needed the students, we needed all of you to know that we were going to be there for you. And that was the easiest way to do it. That way we could get alumni to come down and greet you when you came back from spring vacation and let you know that we were going to do everything we could to save the school for you.
Another question that I have is that at the time of saving Sweetbriar, many called it the closure as a war on women. And many said that it was just because it was all women's school and it wasn't war on women. How do you see that?
I don't think I would see it as a war on women, if that's, you know, what you're driving at, but I do think that it was a dismissal of women. You know, women's concerns don't matter. It's a women's college, so who cares? You know, we really don't care. And I mean, I think that you can see that because some of the members of the Board of Trustees would, you know, do anything they could to protect University of Virginia, for example, but didn't see it as important to keep our college alive. And I'm a law professor, as you know. I've been involved in higher education most of my, most of my career. And to me, it's very important to preserve all different forms of education. So the idea that we had to go out of business because we're a women's college and nobody wanted to go sounded stupid to me. That people wouldn't want to go to Sweetbriar because it was in too rural of a location, too far away from Starbucks, struck me as wrong. It's too small. That sounded ridiculous too, because there's a kind of education you can get at Sweetbriar that you can't get anywhere else. And so all of the excuses rang very, very hollow to me. I think that there's a greater need for women's education, or at least as good a need, as much a need for education as always. As there always has been, we need women leaders. We need schools like Sweetbriar that are going to turn sometimes shy people. I used to be a shy person into a leader, and that's what we need. And I think the statistics that you can see out there are proof. For example, 20-some% of all graduate engineering students are women, but 44% came from women's schools. So what does that tell you? Much higher portions of women who graduate from women's liberal arts colleges go on to graduate school. I mean, the numbers just go on and on and on. So to me, it was just not persuasive whatsoever. And, I think that, like I said before, maybe I said before, the announcement was a wake-up call. It told all 14,000 alumni we've got something we have to protect, and we're going to go and do that. Not for us. I mean, who cares about us? We found each other during the battle, and that was great in itself. But the more we connected with each other, the more we believed that we simply had to preserve the kind of education we had for people like you and for future generations of girls.
So thank you for saving Sweetbriar. And my question is, what is your current role in saving Sweetbriar?
Now I'm on the board of directors, and I'm the secretary of the board, and I'm a member of the executive committee. I'm the chairman of the building and grounds committee. I'm the chairperson of the governance committee. I'm involved with the academic policy committee, the finance committee, so kind of jack of all trades. I would say that I spend from 5 to 12 hours a day on Sweetbriar still. So since March 3rd, I've been pretty much 24/7 Sweetbriar.
What do you have to say about our future vixens that will be joining Sweetbriar with us?
Well, those of you who are there now, including, I guess, especially the freshman class, I see you all as pioneers in a new effort of making Sweetbriar, putting it on not just the national map, but the international map. We showed and are still showing the world how special our students are, how special our graduates are. And so we just want to see more and more vixens out there in the world. We are small, but we are fierce, right?
Georgene, thank you so much for agreeing to this interview, and thank you for your leadership and for your hard work for saving Sweetbriar.
Well, it's a pleasure, and go team go. We're going to do this together.
Yes, we will.
Yes, we will. Here I am. I put my Sweetbriar hat on. Okay, I wear it everywhere. My pink shirt, going to make the world aware of us.
You have joined us in this effort to be pioneers and moving forward. And you may be wondering why we work so hard to protect our school. Well, it's because of you. We wanted to ensure that the type of education we had that turned us into the kind of winning leaders who save our college, who can do all kinds of incredible things professionally all over the world. We wanted you to have the same opportunity for a liberal arts education for women as we had. So please, welcome, take your cue, protect it, never let go of it. Welcome to Sweetbriar College.